Welcome to English Storycast, your daily boost of clear, simple English. Let's begin.
Hello and welcome back to our show. Today we have a topic that I think everyone, absolutely everyone who is learning a language will understand. Let me start by asking you a question.
Go for it. I'm ready.
Have you ever had that incredible burst of energy to learn English? You know, you buy a new notebook, you download 5 new apps, and you tell yourself, this is it. This is the year I finally become fluent.
Of course. That's the classic January 1st feeling, right? You're on top of the world. You study for an hour on the first day, maybe 45 minutes on the second. You feel unstoppable.
Exactly. The motivation is at its peak. But then, what happens in week 3 or week 4?
Well, life happens. You miss one day because you're tired, then you miss another because you're busy. Soon that new notebook is under a pile of papers, and opening those apps just makes you feel a little guilty.
And that right there is the exact problem we're talking about today. So many people think the problem is them. They think, I'm not disciplined, or I don't have enough willpower. But that's not the truth.
So what is the truth?
The truth is that the problem isn't you. It's your strategy. You were depending on motivation. And motivation is like a wave in the ocean. It's powerful when it's there, but it always, always goes away.
That's a great way to put it. You can't surf forever on just one wave. So if motivation isn't the answer, what is?
It's a system. It's a habit. And that is what this episode is all about. We are going to show you how to stop waiting for the wave of motivation and instead build a small boat that can move every single day, even when the water is calm. So, we established that we need a system, a habit, not just motivation. And that might sound complicated, but the science behind a habit is actually incredibly simple. It's a 3-step loop that our brains follow.
A loop? Okay, you have my attention. What are the steps?
The first step is the cue. This is the trigger, the signal to your brain to start a behavior. It could be a time of day, a place, or an action you just finished.
Okay, a cue. Like my alarm clock in the morning. That's a cue to wake up.
Exactly. The second step is the routine. This is the actual behavior, the action you take. And the third step, which is very important, is the reward. This is the positive feeling you get after the routine, which tells your brain, hey, this was good. Let's do it again in the future.
Cue, routine, reward. Okay, it makes sense, but how does this work for learning English? Can you give us a real example?
Of course. Let's build one right now. Think about something you do every single morning without fail. For many people, that's making a cup of coffee.
Definitely. I don't start my day without my coffee.
Perfect. The coffee pot starting to brew is your cue. Now, for your routine, while the coffee brews, which is maybe 3 or 4 minutes, you open a language app and do one short lesson. Just one.
Oh, that's the action. It's short, and it's connected to something I already do. And the reward?
The reward is twofold. First, you get your delicious cup of coffee. And second, you get that small feeling of accomplishment. You started your day by doing something good for yourself. That positive feeling is the reward that makes you want to repeat it tomorrow.
Wow. So, a cue, a routine, and a reward. It's not about forcing yourself to study for an hour. It's about creating a small, automatic loop. I see why that's so much more powerful than just motivation.
Okay, so we have our simple recipe for a habit, a cue, a routine, and a reward. But now we face the most important question of all.
How do we actually start? Building a new routine, even a small one, can feel like a lot of effort when you're starting from zero.
This is my favorite part because the solution is surprisingly simple. We are going to use something called the 2-minute rule.
The 2-minute rule? Okay, I'm listening.
The rule is this. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do.
Wait, 2 minutes? That's it? How can anyone learn English in just 2 minutes a day? It sounds a little too easy.
And that's the magic of it. You're right, you won't become fluent in 2 minutes. But the goal of the rule isn't to master English in one day. The goal is to master the habit of showing up. Think about it. The biggest challenge is always starting. This rule makes starting almost effortless.
I see. So it's more about building the consistency muscle first before worrying about the intensity.
Exactly. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist. So let's transform some big, scary goals into 2-minute habits. For example, your goal, read a book in English, becomes...
Read one paragraph.
Perfect. Your goal, improve my vocabulary, becomes...
Learn one new word and use it in a sentence.
Yes. And practice my listening becomes...
Listen to the first minute of a song in English.
Practice my speaking becomes...
Say 2 sentences about my day out loud in the mirror.
Wow. When you frame it like that, it feels possible. It's not intimidating at all. It removes all the excuses.
That is the entire point. Make it so easy you can't say no. Start with just 2 minutes. Once you've mastered the art of showing up, then you can slowly expand, but it all begins with that tiny initial step.
So our 2-minute rule is the secret weapon to get started. It makes the habit almost effortless. But now, let's talk about the key to making it last forever: consistency. How do we make sure we never forget to do it?
That's a great question, because even with a 2-minute habit, life can get crazy. It's easy for a busy day to end and you realize, oh, I forgot to do my English practice, and then you've broken the chain.
Exactly. To solve that, we're going to use one of the most powerful techniques there is. It's called habit stacking.
Habit stacking. Apilamiento de hábitos. It sounds like you're building something, like with blocks.
That's the perfect image. You are literally stacking your new English habit on top of a current habit, one that you already do every day without even thinking about it.
Okay, so how does it work in practice?
The formula is incredibly simple. It's after my current habit, I will do my new English habit.
Ah, I see. So the existing habit becomes the cue we talked about in Block 2. It's the trigger for the new action. You're hijacking your own brain's automatic systems.
You got it. You're designing your own triggers. For example, instead of just saying, I will practice English for 2 minutes, you say, after I pour my morning coffee, I will review 3 flashcards.
So the coffee is the trigger. It's something you never forget to do. So you'll never forget your English practice. What are some other examples?
How about after I put on my shoes to leave the house, I will say 1 sentence in English out loud. Or before I watch a YouTube video, I will watch 1 30-second TikTok in English. Or my personal favorite, after I sit down on the bus for my commute, I will open my language app for 2 minutes.
That's brilliant. You're not trying to find extra time in your day. You're just linking English to the moments that already exist.
Precisely. You find the small pockets of time in your existing routine, and you insert your English habit there. It's the ultimate trick for consistency, because it makes the process almost entirely automatic.
And here we are at the end of our journey today. We started this conversation talking about that big wave of motivation and how it always disappears.
And we learned that we don't need to wait for that wave. We can build our own system with a simple loop: the cue, the routine, and the reward.
Then we found the secret to starting any new habit with the simple but powerful 2-minute rule.
And finally, we learned how to make that habit last forever by stacking it onto our existing daily routines.
It all comes down to one powerful idea. The person who becomes fluent in English is not the person with the most talent or the most time. It's the person who is the most consistent.
That's so true. Fluency isn't a single event. It's not a finish line you cross. It's the result of hundreds, maybe thousands, of small, repeated actions. It's the path you build by placing one small stone every single day.
Exactly, because in the end, you are what you repeat. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations.
So our challenge for everyone listening is simple. Don't just be inspired by this. Take action. Right now, as this episode ends, decide. What is your first 2-minute English habit going to be?
Will it be learning one new word while your coffee brews? Reading one paragraph before bed? Choose one. Just one. Make it real.
Your journey to fluency doesn't start tomorrow. It starts with the tiny habit you build today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Start building, and we'll see you in the next episode.